Edwards didn't even realize he was nominated. And so when we my wife gave him the call, I don't think he believed it. He's like, who are you? What I got to buy? You know, one of those type of things. But the nomination he got was compelling. And it came from a friend of his who is actually a motivational speaker. And I had some communications with him earlier. And he said, I know just the person. So he wrote a very compelling nomination, and the selection board said this person is without a doubt the one that we want as a National Father of the Year. So without further ado, everybody give a round of applause to Mr. Luke Edwards. We've kind of given Mr. Edwards the same items, but what we're going to do is we're going to read the inscription on his National Father of the Year plaque. So it reads as follows. The 2015 Father of the Year presented to Luke Edwards, awarded this day in recognition for your leadership and inspiration to other fathers, for your outstanding commitment to being an exemplary father, and for your contribution to the well-being of children in the community. Once again, Mr. Luke Edwards, 2015 National Father of the Year.
I first and foremost want to, give honor to God who's the head of my life. If you were here this morning for the breakfast, I had to take some notes for this because I got caught off guard. The pastor called me up to say the prayer. I did my best, but I think I messed that up. So I took a couple of notes for this, so I didn't stand up here looking like a fool. Again, twice in one day, not a good deal. I'd like to thank Mr. Dixon, his wife, Committed Fathers Alliance, for this award and this honor. As he said, I was in the grocery store with my wife when he called, and usually I don't answer the calls and I don't have the name to the number, but I'm grown, and if it's a bill collector, I don't got it, you can't get it. I went ahead and answered the phone. And I was waiting for to get this, you gotta pay this. But that never came. So my wife, she's looking at me like, who you on the phone with? And I'm like, just wait. Let's write this down and see if it's real. So I ended up putting it on speakerphone for her to hear it, and it's real. Like Stan stated, we make a decision to have children. They don't ask to be here. So we do what we're supposed to do, and that's be dads, good men to these kids that we bring into this world that can be evil sometimes. So I wanted to write a couple notes down and read this so I didn't forget anything, so bear with me. Okay. I'm being honored today as the Father of the Year, but I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to say some names of some fathers you all don't know, but they've mentored me. These gentlemen have influenced my life. Growing up, I watched my father, Luke Edwards Jr., and my mother, Belinda Edwards, and I watched how they raised me. The good, the bad, the things I took from them, the things I left. Back in Ipsy, I ain't doing that to my kids. But I took all of that. I watched my uncles Kevin Edwards, Dorsey Edwards, Kenny Edwards, Bill Wilson, Ro Wilson, Ike Harrison, James Harrison, and what they did with their children. Fathers of my friends. I played sports for a long time, played football, have a lot of friends. I watched their fathers, Mr. Truitt, Mr. Wells, Mr. Bird, Mr. Burley Reed. My father-in-law, I'm married to my high school sweetheart, so I had a lot of time with my He's a deacon. He's an older gentleman. My wife is one of 7 children. They thought they were done after 6. And I think 12 years later, they had a baby girl. And she was a little spoiled and protected. Her older brother's the same age as my father. So, I had to take the values that was given to me in church by my parents to smooth a little bit and court her the right way. Mr. John Holmes Sr., my brother-in-law Calvin Abraham, Coach Garland, Michigan State University, Coach Johnny Reed, and how each of these men raised their children. Whether coaching children that were not their blood or their blood children. Growing up, my mother used to tell me, you never know who's watching you. When you walk out of this house, you not only represent yourself, but you represent your family and the values you've been taught. My father used to say, the birds of a feather flock together, so watch the company you keep. During my time on this earth, I found those 2 things to be true. My children are blessed to know men that I associate myself with, men that I call friends. When I use the word friends, you're family, blood but not blood. They watch these men raise their children and coach other people's children. These men are very special to me. These men are Doyce Wilson, Kevin Edwards Jr., Tony Moore, Jerry Jones, Coach Avery Taylor, Rob Means, John Sneed, Jason Malloy. Got a big Coach football player. A lot of friends, big family. Ty Coleman Sr., Coach Jeremy Gold, Jason Gold, Tarico Wells, Ralph Truitt, Henry Parks, Mario Bynum Sr., Chris Cannon, James Brumfield, Luke Cummings, Coach Craig Joby, Jerry Bradley, Carl Burton, Coach Tyrone Hicks, and the man that nominated me for this award, Chris Cannon. A village of great role models. When my wife and I decided to start a family 18 years ago, there were 3 things that we wanted to structure our household around. God first, family second, and our children's dreams. As we see our son, Luke Edwards IV, go off to college in a few short weeks, I'm proud to say we have done just that. He knows and has a relationship with the Lord, number 1. As for the family part, we believe it takes a village to raise a child. When he walks out of our house, he knew that he was not only representing himself, but our family. I'm proud to say that neither I nor my wife have ever been called up to the school, elementary, junior high, nor high school, because of Luke's disciplinary issues, because he had none. He said, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. He shows respect for himself and for others. As far as the third part, I told him, as I tell all children that I coach, that everyone has dreams. But to separate yourself, when you awake, you must turn those dreams into goals and work towards them. It is our job as men to help young men and women make goals a reality because we've been where they want to go. None of them asked to be here, as I stated earlier. My wife and I put aside buying ourselves a lot of material things and instead we invested our funds into our children. Our son had a dream of being able to play college football and hopefully help pay his way through college. Through our son's hard work and dedication, he was blessed to be recruited by several colleges and universities across the country. In the fall, Luke will be attending the University of Findlay in Ohio on a football scholarship. Almost done. My job is not done yet. As now I have, my wife and I have a daughter, Paris. We'll have a freshman in college in the fall. We'll have a first grader in the fall. I know that my role in her life will be different than the role that I had in Luke's. As I trained him to be strong confident, and a leader, I know I have the task of teaching her the same things, but also that she's smart, she's beautiful, and that she's loved by her father and her brother. Therefore, she doesn't have to worry about going out into the world and looking for love and validation from any other man. In closing, I want to thank my wife, who's helped me along this journey of fatherhood. As we all know, behind every good man, there's a strong lady. Thank you all. Enjoy the rest of the conference. Dr. Johnson.
Give me a hand. 2015 National Father of the Year.